The Raiders and the KC Chiefs. Time to mix sports and the law for a second time this week on Chronicle Live. And today we're worried more about sporting arena safety, and in particular the world's most famous arenas, the great John Condon used to say, referring to Madison Square Garden. Greg Papa, joined by Steve Moskowitz, our legal expert. So the Garden was shut this week. The Orlando Magic and the New York Knicks were going to play a game on Tuesday. They shut the doors. The day before, the Rangers just finished playing a hockey game, and they jostled some asbestos around the building. The particles flew out. The Warriors are going to play there coming up next week. They're going to reopen the Garden tomorrow. Would you advise anybody maybe not to go back into the Garden so soon? Should we be concerned about this?
I would take a look at what the medical experts look at. And the big deal with asbestos is if you have asbestos in old buildings, there's an awful lot of that around. Leave it alone. Where the real problems are when you take it out and then those tiny, tiny particles get in the air and then they can embed in the lungs. Now also, as with any toxin, I would think it would matter what the exposure is. But again, somebody could be exposed to it. You don't want to take the chance for liability. So they're doing the smart thing. They've come out and they said an abundance of caution.
Right. We
have the environmental experts come in and make sure it's safe. And again, the general recommendations are leave it alone, don't get those particles in the air.
This current Garden at the corner of 7th and 33rd in Midtown Manhattan is the 4th Madison Square Garden, but it was built years ago. The oldest arena in the league was built back in 1967. This building, just overall older structures that were built, pre-code today. How many lawsuits are out there because people are developing lung cancer and they tie it to the asbestos in the older buildings?
Most of the lawsuits are from the people that worked with it when you had the constant exposure day after day. So if somebody just visited a building for a game, the chances that he or she could get enough embedded in the lungs would be a different story. So most of the lawsuits were people that work with it for years and years and years. Now again, if you're working in an office or something and it's there, but they take a look at, do you have those particles flying around? And again, the important thing is, if it's there, if it's intact, leave it alone.
But what if you have season tickets to the Knicks and the Rangers? Maybe you go see the circus when it's in town. You go to all the Garden concerts. Now you're reading the story that there may be an asbestos problem. 5 years from now, I develop lung cancer. I'm going to hire Moskowitz and sue these people. Do I have a case?
Well, then we would take a look and see what do the medical experts say, and then also you'd have to take a look at the burden of proofs on the accuser. So how can you prove it was that? And then you say, well, maybe there's some circumstantial evidence. You'd also look at the medical reports, the studies, and see just exactly how much exposure would you have to have. And there'd be a lot of factors. Does the person smoke? Is there a history? A lot of things. What's his job?
Right. So bottom line, don't be too concerned about it. The Warriors will be back in there on Wednesday.
I wouldn't be concerned.
Did you get a picture with the World Series trophy?
I most assuredly did.
I'm the only one here that is not. You got one.
I'll share my picture with you.
Matt Morrison got one.
It was very nice.
Henry Wolford, you get one. He's going to do Sportsnet Central and have a picture of the trophy.
I don't think it was anything personal.